welcome to Practice Interactions demo. So this is the AI customer training infrastructure for our partners. And the problem we're trying to solve, especially in the customer service industry, is that we're trying to improve, the role-playing scenarios, right? Creating AI customers to really make sure that role-playing is fun, is real, and customers are able to go through trials without having to be on the call itself, right? That's the partners. And so co-workers at the end of the day, they're not able to do role playing, you know, as easily as before. Some of them they'll take it seriously, some of them they'll act angry, and they're not really able to get into the scenario, as a customer would, right? Senior reps as well who have more experience are usually very busy and they don't have the time to train new hires. So there's that gap there where how do you really train, in an effective way a team with specific scenarios and without relying on just going into the markets with trial by fire, and which is leading to loss of dollars and loss of customers and employees because people don't really know how to handle the situations properly. And so one of the things that we are working on here is with AI customers, right? And that's the idea that your team can practice on real life scenarios before real calls. And they're able to practice on AI customers. And what we've done, we've built realistic AI powered angry customers, scammers, confused callers, and your users are able to practice handling them. They get scored and they improve. They see their results and they're able to improve at the end of the day. So we're looking at realistic voice conversations, instant AI powered feedback, downloadable PDF results, and currently we have about 72 scenarios, and we can add to those scenarios based on your own custom feedback. So it's pretty much easy how it works. Number one is we send you an embed code to embed on your website. You are able to copy that and paste on your website, and then your users get to launch a session, a practice session. They're able to practice and they're able to get downloadable results based on their practice sessions, right? So what do you get? So everything included at $1.50 per session. No setup fees, no monthly minimums, except for paid add-ons, which we would get onto. So, but just as it is right now, as the solution is right now, you get 3 AI customer personas, 10 pre-built scenarios, you get embed widgets, you get PDF results, download basic branding, and you get some email support with about 48 hours response time. No setup fees, no monthly minimums. You only pay when users practice, and that is the model that we want to work with. Just that in the sense that as you earn, as your users use the platform, that's basically your cost is variable to your earning, which I believe is the best model. But in the instance where you want some additional features, for example, you want to build custom scenarios, it's $1.50, and we have all of this listed. If you want analytics dashboard to track sessions, export data, that's $1.99 per month. Sorry, $1.99 per month. So this is just a practice scenario. If, for example, you want to charge $5, you pay us $1.50, you earn $3.50 per session. At 100 sessions, that's an additional $350 coming to your business. 500 sessions, that's $7.50. At 1,000 sessions, that's 3,500, and you can scale that as you want. You can increase your revenue per session, or just increase the number of users that you're bringing in. You earn as you grow. So the market opportunity here is incredible, given that the call center AI market is about 25.8 billion right now, and is expected to increase at 23% CAGR. And agentic AI itself is a $190 billion industry. So you're adding value to an already existing market where there's already demand. People are already setting aside about 20% of their budget for, to improve their customer service. So, and it's just basically working with the structure that is in ground and adding value to that, which is what we have built infrastructure to do that. So, who are our ideal partners? Who benefits the most from our infrastructure? So, we're looking at coding bootcamps, e-commerce supports, staffing agencies, call centers. So, if you're one of these, can absolutely benefit from our solution. But even if you're not, as long as you see value and you run some form of um, interaction, you add value to a business that does interactions, whether it's interviews, customer service, sales, our solution would be excellent for your business to scale. Why us? Simple, zero upfront cost. We've already built the infrastructure, you don't need to pay for that. You control your pricing. You have a 5 minute integration, which we help with. Battle tested scenarios, aligned incentives, your brand, your customers. The only time where it costs you more is when you have additional requests, which we charge for, and it takes a bit more time to integrate those. So let's build together. Let's help you add AI practice to your platform, and you start earning from day one. I mean, this is exciting because right now you could just easily scale your business to an additional $5,000 to $10,000 in revenue simply by adding the ability for your users to practice with AI customers. So happy to help you. You can send us an email or visit our website there at customer.practiceinteractions.com. So right now I would like to just go through a quick demo. Um, so this is a result that I did. So on the site, this is how it looks like. We have a couple of scenarios here which you can go through and practice. So let's see Marcus is the package thief. So right in this instance, we have a client. So you have scenarios around this persona, and the persona here is that this person always claims that they never get their product delivered to them, and they keep lying and using threats of justice and things like that, legal threats. So let's go through one of these. So this one, let's go through signature required, but no one. Okay, let's go through damage to package extortion. It's advanced. Okay. So customer claims package arrived damaged and demands double refund plus compensation. So let's start.
Yes, I received my package, but the box was completely destroyed. The tape was hanging off. This is outrageous. I want a full refund immediately, and I am keeping the item because I should not have to deal with this. Also, I want compensation for my time and stress.
All right, thank you for bringing that. We apologize that that happened to you, but our policy just requires that we ask you a few questions before we process the refund. Is that okay?
No, it's not okay. I shouldn't have to jump through hoops because your company can't ship a package properly. The box was destroyed. I could have been hurt opening it. It looked like it had been through a war zone. This is completely unacceptable. I am keeping the item because it works, but I still demand a full refund. I also expect compensation for the emotional distress and inconvenience this has caused me. I shouldn't have to waste my time chasing you down for something that's clearly your fault. If you're going to push back on this, I want to speak to someone at corporate immediately. And let me be clear, if this isn't resolved the way it should be, I will be taking this to social media. I have photos and I'm not afraid to share them.
All right, so our policy requires that once a package is delivered, that you get to sign for that package and you attest to the fact that the package was delivered in good condition. And from my records here, it shows that yes, you did that attestation and you did sign that the product was delivered in good condition. And so we are legally not bound to do a refund right now because we have that attestation. Unless in the instance where you are saying that this was otherwise. So did you make that signature and did you do that in your end?
I did sign for the package, but that doesn't change the fact that the box was destroyed. I was in a rush and didn't have time to inspect it thoroughly before signing. This is not about the signature, it's about the condition of the package and the potential risk it posed. I could have been hurt, and that's a serious issue. I expect your company take responsibility for this. I am keeping the item because it works, but I still demand a full refund and compensation for the emotional distress and inconvenience. If you're not able to handle this, I need to speak to someone at corporate. I will not hesitate to take this into social media if necessary. I have photos of the condition it arrived in, and I'm prepared to share them widely.
So we also have seen from our own records that the product was delivered on Wednesday and you only reached out, on Friday, which means that it was more than 24 hours. So we also have a policy that if a complaint is not made within 24 hours, there's nothing we can do. So sorry, we apologize that, it seems that you might have, you know, because there's no way for us to know that how the product was damaged, because not only have you attested that it was delivered in good condition, you didn't reach out in within the time limits of when the product was delivered. So yeah.
I understand your policies, but this situation is beyond a simple policy issue. The box was destroyed and I could have been hurt. I didn't have the chance to report it immediately because I was dealing with other urgent matters. That doesn't change the fact that the package was an unacceptable condition.
All right. So that we just quickly ended that scenario because I didn't want to overspend the period that we have. But yeah, you understand that you can build custom scenarios that fit your own company. I'm just going to skip this quickly. And not only that, we also have AI goal reports that are based on each scenario. So basically, what is happening is that each scenario is being um, reviewed, based on the conversation that happened and the interaction. And with that, we come up with 5 goals. So here you can see fraud detection, policy knowledge, professionalism, setting boundaries, and de-escalation. So you can see that I scored pretty well in all these 5 fronts, and yeah, I did pretty well, and all of that. But of course, it also gives me information on where I can improve, areas to improve. So you have to be more assertive in setting boundaries to prevent the conversation from being dominated by unreasonable demands. Incorporate more empathetic language, you know. So maybe I could have been more empathetic. And then offer alternative solutions to or escalate to a supervisor if the conversation is not progressing towards resolution, which is also not a bad, process. So there you have it. There are lots of scenarios there. Some of them are a bit tougher, some of them are easier to navigate. And yeah, it just is a great opportunity to practice, improve, and earn, with your users within your organization. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.